Welcome to another Startup and Complete Car documentation. What we have here is a 2017 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. This Cherokee is painted in billet silver metallic. On the key, you have the buttons for lock, unlock, and panic. The front door panels do have storage with bottle holders. You have your fuel door release, and you get power windows, locks, and mirrors. It has the black interior color scheme with red contrast stitching. The seats are trimmed in a combination of cloth and leather. Both front seats are manually adjusted in this one. But now they're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine. The Jeep Cherokee nameplate dates back to 1974. The first iteration was introduced as a two-door version of the Jeep Wagoneer, with a four-door version being introduced for '77. The iconic second generation, codenamed the XJ, was a massive departure, changing from a truck-based body-on-frame SUV to a unibody one. The XJ Cherokee was sold all the way from 1984 until 2001, and is often regarded as one of the greatest SUVs and off-roaders of all time. It's also worth noting that in the 90s, Jeep introduced a second vehicle with the Cherokee nameplate, which is the larger Grand Cherokee, and that model went on to carve out a massive legacy of its own. For 2002, the XJ Jeep Cherokee was finally replaced by the Jeep Liberty, which was produced until 2012 over a span of 2 generations. That being said, the Liberty was actually still called the Cherokee in international markets. But for 2014, the Jeep Cherokee was brought back to North America after a decade-long hiatus as an all-new model to replace the Liberty. This new generation of the Jeep Cherokee was codenamed KL, and like its predecessor, uses a unibody platform. So the KL generation Jeep Cherokee debuted for model year 2014, and was produced until model year 2023. It rode on the front-wheel drive-based Fiat Chrysler Compact Wide platform. In Jeep's lineup, the Cherokee was most recently slotted between the Compact Compass and the Midsize Grand Cherokee. The KL generation Cherokee got its biggest update for 2019, which was a mid-cycle refresh. Said refresh updated the exterior styling with things like a new front fascia and freshened up taillights, but most notably the Cherokee had a new engine added to the lineup in the form of a 2-liter turbo inline 4. Thus, this 2017 is a pre-facelift. The US market 2017 model year Jeep Cherokee was offered in the following main trim levels: Sport, Latitude, Limited, Trailhawk, and Overland. There were also a few limited edition trims like the Altitude. The rugged Trailhawk is the most off-road capable trim, so it comes with, for one, a more rugged cosmetic appearance, but also off-roading goodies like recovery hooks, skid plates, a raised suspension, a locking rear diff, a rock terrain setting, and even select speed, which is basically crawl control. 2 different engines are available for the 17 Cherokee, including either a 2.4-liter inline-4 with 184 horsepower like this one has, or a 271 horsepower 3.2-liter V6. The sole transmission is a 9-speed automatic, and as for your drivetrain options, you can get either front-wheel drive or one of 3 4-wheel drive systems depending on the trim. All Trailhawk models came with active drive lock, which is the most advanced of the 4-wheel drive systems offered. In the instrument cluster, we have 2 analog gauges, which are your tachometer and speedometer. Your fuel and temperature gauges are digital, as part of this large digital information display, which we can go through via these controls on the steering wheel. Lots of vehicle information, transmission temp, oil life, voltage, that kind of stuff, tire pressure, average fuel economy, trip computers, audio info, messages, all sorts of settings. Nice, straightforward screen to go through. It has a 4-spoke design leather-wrapped steering wheel. As for controls, on this side you have your information display controls, along with your hands-free phone and voice command controls. Whereas on this side, you have your cruise controls. And that's just the front of the spokes. On the back of the spokes, you've got your audio controls. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. Put storage for the driver. Headlight switch, panel dimmer, climate vent for the driver. Right here is your high beam and turn signal stalk. And on this side is your wiper stalk. Going down the center of the interior, you have a speaker up top, storage compartment, central climate vents, touchscreen interface for your UConnect Infotainment system. We'll go over that more in a bit. Hazard switch. Some physical controls for the infotainment system, radio, volume power, tuning knob, screen off and back. You also have your traction control toggle button, single zone climate controls. You also have a climate control screen in the infotainment system. A little bit of storage, along with a USB-A port, an SD card slot, an aux port, and a 12-volt power outlet. Right here is your select terrain dial. You got various different drive modes: auto, snow, sport, sand, mud, and rock. Of course, this being the Trailhawk, you get all the off-road goodies. Hill descent, select speed, which I believe is like a crawl control. You can shift into 4 low, and lock your rear diff. Going in reverse does reveal a backup camera with guidance lines. The parking brake is electronically operated. You have 2 cup holders, some storage. You also have a 2-tiered center console. You have another USB-A port in there and another 12-volt power outlet. The glove box is lockable. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors and lights. Manually dimming rear view with roadside assistance. On the overhead console, got a sunglass holder and your overhead lighting. There are grab handles at all 4 corners. And finally, here's the UConnect Infotainment system. I've always found these UConnect screens to be very easy to use. You have it laid out all along the bottom. Right now we're on radio. You have AM, FM, as well as Sirius XM for sources, and you got your Bluetooth audio as well. All sorts of settings. Any UConnect apps you might have. And Wi-Fi hotspot. Different types of apps, as you can see. And then here's your climate control screen. You can adjust your climate controls from here, in addition to the physical controls. You can just turn the screen on or off, and then phone stuff. Your audio settings as well. But now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. Both front windows are fully automatic. On the Trailhawk, you get these 17-inch 5 split-spoke two-tone alloy rims. I love the look of the Trailhawk with this matte decal on here, these awesome red tow hooks, black cladding, just an awesome looking vehicle. Powering this Trailhawk is the Cherokee's base engine for 2017, that being the Tiger Shark Multi-Air 2.4-liter naturally aspirated inline 4. It's an all-aluminum power plant with a single overhead camshaft, 4 valves per cylinder, and variable valve timing. Horsepower is rated at 184 at 6,400 RPM, while torque is rated at 171 pound-feet at 4,600 RPM. The transmission is a 9-speed automatic with manual shiftability, and Trailhawk models come with Jeep's active drive lock 4-wheel drive system. Running on regular unleaded with a 15.9-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for a Cherokee like this one are 19 mpg in the city and 25 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. Stopping the Cherokee are 4-wheel disc brakes with vented front rotors. Curb weight for this one is 4,000 pounds or thereabouts. Roof racks, bottle holders in the back door panels as well. '60/40 split folding rear seats. While I'm here, I forgot to show, you got a secret storage compartment underneath the front passenger seat base. Driver's seat does have a mat pocket in the back. Rear passengers do get their own set of climate vents, along with a household style power outlet and a folding center armrest with 2 cup holders. Coat hooks on either side. And for space back here, I'm about 6'1", with the driver's seat adjusted for myself. And it is a pretty roomy place to be back here. Back seat is nice and comfortable. Seat is also adjustable. The seat back, you can recline it a little bit more if you want to, using the same lever to fold them. Can't believe all the years I've had this channel and I've never filmed a Trailhawk Jeep. I've filmed many Jeeps, but never a Trailhawk. Single exhaust, rear wiper, another awesome red tow hook, or recovery hook. The Cherokee has 24.6 cubic feet of cargo space when the back seats are up. Fold the back seats down and you now get 54.9 cubic feet of space. Full-size spare, power outlet, and the fuel cap, as you saw earlier, is on the passenger side. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2017 Jeep Cherokee. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.